In this video, we will present most of the available options of the View menu. You can find the View options on the View icon of your main toolbar or on the View menu. The options are the same in both sources, so we will describe them based on the View icon. When you click on this icon, it shows a list of different ways with which you can change the way a design is viewed. The very first option is called Stitches. When this option is turned on, you can see the stitches of the design. And when it is turned off, you can only see the artwork of the design, that is, just the shapes and the colors. Using the G key, you can toggle this function between being enabled and disabled. Enable the crosshair option. A cross follows the mouse when it is on the design and helps you align and position design items. The next option is the 3D preview. When enabled, you get a 3D realistic preview of your design. When 3D preview is off, the stitches appear like thin computer-generated lines. When 3D preview is off, you can choose to have a view of the stitch points. These little round spots are the actual stitch points. The 3D preview can also be switched using the P hotkey. When in 3D mode, you may also select the direction of the light under which you see a design. Click and drag the control handle to adjust the light direction on the design. This in turn changes the outcome of the 3D preview. Next, you can customize the colors of the user interface. To change the color of a UI component, you can click on the color next to its name. Specify the color you want, adjust the brightness and the transparency level. In the following section, you can enable or disable the view of some tools that help during the designing and editing process. These tools are Grid, Guidelines, and Hoop. For example, you may choose to enable the view of Grid if this helps you during the designing or editing process. Or you may prefer to have a clearer view of the design, so you just hide the grid. Likewise, you can enable or disable the view of the guidelines and see how easily you can hide them. When grid or guidelines are turned on, you can also turn on or off the snapping of the cursor on them. When snap is turned on and you put your mouse while designing close to the guidelines or the grid lines, the point will snap on them. So if you need to make precise movements, you would probably turn snap on, and other times you may want this function turned off. Likewise, you choose when to enable or disable the view of the hoop. Enjoy creating!